Welcome to Cuckoo English Podcast for daily English practice.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to the Cuckoo English Podcast. I'm your host, Sophia.
And I am your co-host, Jeremy. If you're learning English and sometimes feel slow, confused, or unsure, please know this podcast is made for you.
In this podcast, we don't rush. We don't use difficult words. We learn English calmly, step by step, through stories and personal experiences.
As we promised earlier, we've started a new book series for our English learners.
In this series, we'll bring one book every Saturday, a book you can read easily while learning English.
And today is special.
Because this is the first book of our book series.
We're starting with a book that is perfect for beginners and also very close to our hearts.
Yes, the book is called The Alchemist. Jeremy, do you remember when you first read The Alchemist?
Yeah, I remember it very clearly. At that time, my English was not strong. I could read, but slowly. Long books scared me, but this book felt different.
I feel the same. When I read it for the first time, I was still building my English vocabulary. I didn't understand every sentence, but I never felt lost.
Exactly. The language was simple, but the meaning was deep.
And that's why we chose this book for beginners.
Before we tell the story, let's talk about why this book is so good for English learners.
First of all, the sentences are short and clear. You don't feel tired while reading.
The story moves slowly, so beginners have time to think and understand.
And the words repeat naturally, which is very helpful for learning.
Also, this book talks about feelings that everyone understands: fear, hope, dreams, and courage.
Yes, when you already understand the feeling, the English becomes easier.
So, while listening today, don't worry about understanding everything.
Just listen, feel the story, and let the language come to you naturally.
If you understand the story and enjoy it, you can start reading the book yourself.
I promise you, once you start reading, you won't be able to stop.
So, let's begin.
The story is about a young boy named Santiago.
The boy was not rich, and he did not live in a big house or a city.
Santiago was a shepherd. A shepherd is a person who takes care of sheep.
Sheep eat grass, so the shepherd moved with them to places where there's fresh grass and water.
And that's why, every day, the boy walked with his sheep.
From one place to another.
He slept under the open sky, woke up with the sun, and lived a very simple life.
But even though his life was simple, his mind was very active.
Yes, the boy was a thinker. He thought about the world, about people, and about his future.
When he was younger, his parents wanted him to become a priest.
But he wanted to travel and see the world, not stay in one place.
So he chose a life that gave him freedom, the life of a shepherd. One night, he was sleeping inside an old, empty church.
The roof was broken, and he could see the stars above him.
That night, he had a very strange dream.
In the dream, a small child took him to a faraway land.
The child showed him the pyramids of Egypt.
And then the child said something that changed everything. If you come here, you will find a great treasure.
When he woke up, his heart was beating fast. This was not the first time he had seen this dream.
He had seen it again and again, always in the same way.
The boy decided to talk to a woman who understood and interpreted dreams, because he wanted to know why he kept seeing the same dream.
She listened carefully and told him the dream was real.
She said he must go to Egypt to find his treasure.
Santiago felt excited but also scared.
Egypt was very far, and the journey was dangerous. At the same time, he did not fully believe what the woman had said.
One day, while the boy was sitting in the town square, he met a very strange old man. At first, the old man looked simple, almost ordinary, but there was something special about him.
Yes, the old man started talking to the boy very naturally, like they already knew each other. He asked the boy about his life, his sheep, and his dream.
The boy felt surprised because the old man knew many things about him, his family, his childhood, even about his dreams.
The old man listened carefully and did not laugh at his dream.
Instead, the old man explained something very important. He told the boy about a personal legend. He said a personal legend is the dream you truly want to follow in your life.
The old man also said something very powerful. He said that when you really want something, the whole universe helps you achieve it.
These words touched the boy's heart deeply. For the first time, he felt that his dream was not silly or impossible. That dream was to find the treasure.
The old man warned him, too. He said many people gave up on their dreams because of fear of failure, fear of loss, and fear of change.
Before leaving, the old man gave the boy 2 small stones. He told him the stones would help him when he felt confused.
After this meeting, the boy felt different. He thought deeply about his life and his sheep.
He understood that his sheep gave him comfort, but not fulfillment. They kept him safe, but they did not help him grow.
This was a very difficult moment for the boy.
But finally, he made a brave decision. He decided to sell his sheep.
And with the money, he chose to follow his dream.
And that was how the boy began his journey to Arabia and Africa, leaving comfort behind and choosing the unknown. You know, Jeremy, that's my favorite part of the story. It inspired me a lot because I think it's easy to follow your dream when you have nothing to lose. But the boy had to sell his sheep and leave his life behind to follow his dream. Only a few people can do that.
I completely agree.
Those sheep were not just animals to him. They were his daily life, his work, and his safety. And they were also his friends.
Yes, selling the sheep meant leaving behind everything he knew. It meant saying goodbye to a life that felt familiar and comfortable, even if it was simple.
Even though he felt fear in his heart, the boy chose the unknown over comfort. He knew that if he stayed with his sheep, his dream would slowly fade away.
With the money from selling his sheep, Santiago began his journey to Africa. As soon as he arrived, everything around him felt different and unfamiliar.
The language sounded strange to him, and he could not understand what people were saying. The streets were crowded, noisy, and full of people he had never seen before.
At first, he tried to stay calm and hopeful. He believed that his journey would guide him toward his dream.
But very soon, something terrible happened. A stranger tricked him and stole all his money.
In one moment, everything changed. He was alone in a foreign land with no money and no one to help him. He could not even go back to his land because he had no money.
He sat down and cried. He felt scared, broken, and hopeless.
He thought about his sheep and the life he had left behind. For the first time, he wondered if following his dream was a mistake.
This moment was very important in his journey. It showed him that dreams are not easy and that the path is often painful.
You know, Sophie, many English learners feel the same way at some point. When learning feels difficult, it can seem like all the effort was wasted.
Ah, yes. When progress feels slow or when we make mistakes, we often want to give up.
But just like the boy, this moment is not the end of the journey. It is a lesson, not a failure.
Sometimes we have to feel lost before we can grow stronger.
And sometimes the hardest moments teach us the most.
The boy did not know it yet, but this painful experience was shaping him.
It was preparing him for everything that would come next.
After losing all his money, the boy wandered through the streets, not knowing what to do next. He felt tired, hungry, and unsure about his future.
That was when he noticed a small crystal shop on a hill. The shop looked old and quiet, and there were no customers inside.
The boy asked the shop owner if he could work for food. The owner agreed, and that small moment slowly changed the boy's life.
At first, he only cleaned the crystals. Day after day, he worked silently and carefully.
But the boy was observant. He noticed that people could not see the crystals clearly from the street.
So he shared an idea with the shop owner. He suggested placing the crystals outside the shop to attract customers.
The shop owner was unsure, but he trusted the boy. Soon, more people began to stop and look.
As time passed, the boy shared more ideas. He suggested serving tea in crystal glasses and improving the shop little by little.
The business of the crystal shop owner slowly grew. Money started coming in, and the shop became successful.
The boy worked there for almost a year. During that time, his life became stable and comfortable again.
With the money he earned, he realized he could buy new flock. He could return to his home country and live the same life as before.
For a while, he forgot about his dream and the pyramids. Comfort made the dream feel distant and less important.
He told himself that he was happy. He had money, which he had earned from working in the crystal shop, safety, and a clear path back home.
But deep inside, something still felt incomplete. His heart was not fully at peace.
One day, he understood something very important. The crystal shop owner had lived his whole life with a dream he never followed.
That realization scared the boy. He did not want to grow old wondering, what if I had followed my dream?
Slowly, the dream returned to his heart. The crystals called to him again.
He understood that comfort was stopping him from growing. So he made another brave decision.
He chose to leave the crystal shop behind.
Once again, he decided to follow his dream and continue his journey to the pyramids of Egypt.
After leaving the crystal shop, the boy decided to go to the pyramids. To reach the pyramids, he had to cross the vast desert.
Crossing the desert alone was very difficult, so the boy joined a caravan that was traveling across it.
A caravan is a group of people and animals traveling together. In old times, people crossed deserts in caravans because it was safer.
They traveled together with camels, food, and water.
The journey was long and dangerous, but he felt ready to move forward again.
The desert was vast and silent. During the day, the heat was intense, and at night, the cold was sharp.
As the caravan moved slowly across the sand, he learned to be patient. The desert did not rush anyone.
In the caravan, he met a young man who was studying English books. Everyone called him the Englishman.
The Englishman was searching for the alchemist. An alchemist is a person who tries to change simple metals into valuable metals.
Long ago, people believed that an alchemist could turn metal into gold. But in this story, an alchemist is also someone who helps people change their life, not just metal. The alchemist teaches people how to understand their destiny, follow their dreams, and become better from inside.
The Englishman believed that books held the answers to life's greatest secrets.
The Englishman listened carefully to him. At the same time, he observed the desert around him.
While the Englishman focused on his books, the boy learned by watching. He learned how the camels behaved and how the guides read the signs of the desert.
Slowly, the boy understood an important lesson. The desert spoke, but not in words.
It taught him through silence, through patience, and through small signs. He learned to listen with his heart.
The Englishman and the boy shared many conversations. They realized they were searching for the same truth, but in different ways.
The Englishman learned from books, while the boy learned from life itself.
As the journey continued, news spread that there was war in the desert. The caravan became more cautious and moved carefully.
After many days, they finally reached a beautiful oasis. It was full of palm trees, water, and life.
The oasis felt like a miracle after the endless sand. It was a place of rest and safety.
At the oasis, the caravan stopped. The boy felt that this place would change his life again.
The desert journey had taught him patience, trust, and awareness.
He no longer felt lost. He felt connected to the world around him.
And even though the journey was far from over, the boy knew he was learning lessons that would guide him forward.
When the caravan reached the oasis, they were forced to stay there for some time. There was war in the desert, and traveling further was too dangerous.
The oasis was a peaceful place, full of palm trees, water, and people. After the long and silent desert, it felt alive and warm.
While staying at the oasis, the boy helped people and observed life around him. He listened carefully to the desert and trusted the signs it showed him.
One day, while walking near a well, he met a young woman named Fatima. She came to collect water from a well nearby, and their eyes met for the first time.
There was something very calm and deep about her. They started talking, and soon the boy felt a strong connection with her.
Slowly, he fell in love with Fatima. For the first time, love made him think about stopping his journey.
But Fatima understood his dream. She told him that true love does not stop a person from following their purpose.
Her words gave the boy strength. He realized that love should support dreams, not replace them.
Around this time, the boy met a strange and wise man at the oasis. This man was the alchemist.
The alchemist spoke very little, but his words were powerful. He understood the boy's journey and his dream without many explanations.
The alchemist decided to guide the boy in learning alchemy and in finding the treasure. He taught him that alchemy was not only about turning metal into gold.
Alchemy was about understanding life, listening to the heart, and trusting the universe. It was about becoming the best version of oneself.
When the time was right, the boy and the alchemist left the oasis together. They continued their journey toward the pyramids.
As they crossed the desert, the alchemist tested the boy. He pushed him to face fear, silence, and doubt.
The desert became the boy's teacher. He learned to listen to the wind, the sun, and his own heart.
Step by step, the boy learned the true meaning of alchemy. He learned that real transformation happens inside a person.
By the time they reached the pyramids, the boy was no longer the same boy. He had grown wiser, braver, and more aware.
He understood that the journey itself had changed him, and the treasure he was searching for was more than just gold.
As the boy and the alchemist continued their journey, the desert became quieter and more serious. The boy felt that he was close to the end of his journey.
One night, just before reaching the pyramids, the alchemist stopped walking with him. He told the boy that he could go no further.
The alchemist said that the boy had already learned everything he needed to learn. Now, the final steps were for him to take alone.
While the boy felt nervous, he also felt strong. He thanked the alchemist and continued walking toward the pyramids by himself.
After a long and tiring journey, the boy finally reached the pyramids of Egypt. When he saw them shining in the sunlight, tears filled his eyes.
He knelt down and began to dig in the sand. Believing that his treasure was there, he kept digging for hours, but he could not find any treasure. But suddenly, some men appeared.
They were thieves. They started beating the boy and asked why he was digging in the desert.
Weak and tired, the boy told them about his dream, his journey, and the treasure. One of the thieves laughed loudly.
The thief said that he once had a dream too. In his dream, there was a treasure hidden in an old church in Spain.
He said the church had a broken roof and a tree growing inside it, but he had never been foolish enough to follow that dream.
When the thieves left, the boy lay on the sand, hurting but smiling. He finally understood the truth.
The treasure was not in Egypt. It was back where his journey had begun.
It was in the church where the boy first saw the dream about treasure. With new strength and clarity, the boy traveled back to Spain.
He returned to the old broken church where he once slept with his sheep. He dug beneath the tree inside the church, and this time he found a real treasure, gold coins and precious stones.
He laughed and cried at the same time. The treasure had always been close to him.
But the journey was not wasted. Without the journey, he would never have understood its value.
He knew that the real treasure was not just gold. It was the wisdom, courage, and self-belief he had gained.
With a full heart, he thought of Fatima and his future. He was ready to return to the desert, not as a boy, but as a wiser man.
You know, Jeremy, the ending of The Alchemist always makes me smile. The boy finds the treasure right where his journey began.
Yes, and that message is very powerful. Sometimes what we're looking for is already close to us.
But he could not have found it without traveling so far. Without the journey, the treasure would not feel meaningful.
Exactly. The book shows us that the journey matters as much as the destination.
Every step the boy takes changes him. Each mistake, each loss, and each lesson prepares him for that moment.
And the same thing happens in real life. We grow through the process, not only through success.
Another beautiful lesson is about following dreams. The boy listens to that quiet voice inside him, even when it feels scary.
Many people hear that voice. Very few choose to follow it.
The story reminds us that dreams are not random. They come to us for a reason.
And when we ignore them, something inside us feels incomplete.
I also love how the story teaches patience. The boy doesn't rush. He learns, waits, and trusts the journey.
In the end, he gains much more than gold. He gains confidence, wisdom, and clarity.
That's why the ending feels so satisfying. It reminds us that life is not about reaching the finish line quickly.
It's about walking the path, learning along the way, and becoming better.
And if we are brave enough to follow our dreams, we may realize the real treasure was with us all along. So, Jeremy, this brings us to the end of today's story.
Yes, what a journey it was. From a shepherd boy to someone who learns to trust his heart.
If you've been listening till now, we truly hope this story touched you. The Alchemist is not just a book, it's an experience.
And if you enjoyed this story, maybe this is your sign to read the book yourself. Once you start, it's very hard to stop.
Now we want to ask you something. Will you read The Alchemist after this episode? And if you've already read it, tell us your favorite part.
And one more question. What is your dream? Is there something you want but feel afraid to follow?
Tell us in the comments. We would love to read your thoughts and your dreams.
And remember, it's okay to move slowly. What matters is that you keep moving.
This was the first book in our book series. Every Saturday, we'll bring you another book to enjoy and learn English with.
Thank you for spending your time with us today.
Keep learning, keep dreaming.
And keep walking your own path.
Don't forget to watch our Daily Life Conversation podcast every evening. We make it especially for English learners like you.
See you in the next episode. Bye for now.